Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the edges of our known religious texts? What secrets might be hidden in ancient manuscripts that didn't make it into the canonical Bible, but still hold profound spiritual and historical significance? If so, let me introduce you to one of the most fascinating and controversial texts of all time, the Book of Enoch. Now, before we dive in, I want to set the stage. Imagine this: a world where angels descend from heaven, giants roam the earth, and humanity teeters on the brink of chaos. This isn't just some fantasy novel. This is the vivid, otherworldly narrative found within the Book of Enoch. It's like stepping into an epic saga filled with cosmic battles, divine revelations, and moral dilemmas that feel eerily relevant even today. So grab your metaphorical torch. We're about to explore the shadowy corners of this enigmatic text. First things first. The Book of Enoch is an apocryphal work attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. Yes, that Noah. You may remember him briefly mentioned in Genesis 5:24, where it says, "Enoch walked faithfully with God. Then he was no more because God took him away." That single verse has sparked centuries of curiosity. Where did Enoch go? What did he see? And why was he chosen for such a mysterious fate? Well, according to the Book of Enoch, the answers are nothing short of extraordinary. Written between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE, this text claims to reveal Enoch's visions of heaven, his encounters with angels, and his warnings about the impending judgment of humanity. But here's the kicker: it wasn't included in the official biblical canon. Why? We'll get to that later. For now, let's talk about what makes this book so captivating. One thing that sets the Book of Enoch apart is its structure. It's not a single cohesive story, but rather a collection of 5 distinct sections, each offering unique insights into Enoch's experiences and teachings. Let's break them down. This is arguably the most famous section and the one people refer to when they mention fallen angels or Nephilim. According to this part, a group of angels called the Watchers descended to earth and mated with human women, producing giant offspring known as the Nephilim. These hybrids wreaked havoc on the planet, leading to widespread corruption and violence. The Watchers also taught humans forbidden knowledge, like metallurgy and astrology, which further destabilized society. Sound familiar? This tale echoes themes found in Genesis 6:1-4, though the Book of Enoch expands on these ideas in jaw-dropping detail. Here, Enoch receives prophetic visions of the coming Messiah, the final judgment, and the ultimate triumph of good over evil. There's a strong emphasis on justice and accountability, making this section particularly thought-provoking. Some scholars believe early Christians drew inspiration from these parables when developing their theology. Ever wondered how ancient civilizations understood the cosmos? In this section, Enoch learns about the movements of celestial bodies, the calendar system, and the concept of time itself. While it can feel dense at times, it offers a glimpse into the scientific and philosophical mindset of its era. As the name suggests, this portion focuses on symbolic dreams and their interpretations. Enoch witnesses the rise and fall of kingdoms, the flood that destroys the wicked, and the eventual restoration of righteousness. It's almost like reading a spiritual version of history written before it happens. Finally, we have a letter addressed to future generations, urging them to remain steadfast in their faith despite trials and tribulations. Think of it as Enoch's closing remarks, a heartfelt plea to humanity to stay on the right path. Now we come to the million-dollar question. If the Book of Enoch is so rich and compelling, why isn't it part of the Bible? To understand this, we need to consider both theological and historical factors. For starters, many early church leaders viewed the Book of Enoch with skepticism. They questioned its authorship, arguing that while it claims to be written by Enoch himself, it likely originated much later. Additionally, some of its content, like the idea of fallen angels mating with humans, was deemed too fantastical or inconsistent with Orthodox doctrine. Over time, it fell out of favor and was excluded from the official canon. However, it's worth noting that the Book of Enoch wasn't entirely forgotten. In fact, it played a significant role in shaping Jewish mysticism and early Christian thought. Fragments of the text were discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls, proving its importance in antiquity. Even today, it remains a sacred text for the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, which includes it in its biblical canon. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds intriguing, but why should I care about an ancient text that didn't even make it into the Bible? Great question. Here's the thing. The Book of Enoch challenges us to think differently about spirituality, morality, and our place in the universe. For instance, its exploration of free will versus divine intervention raises timeless questions. Are we truly responsible for our actions, or are external forces influencing us? Its depiction of fallen angels grappling with disobedience mirrors our own struggles with temptation and redemption. And let's not forget its environmental undertones. The destruction caused by the Nephilim serves as a cautionary tale about unchecked greed and exploitation. Moreover, the Book of Enoch reminds us that there's always more to discover. Just because something isn't widely accepted doesn't mean it lacks value. Sometimes the most profound truths lie just outside the mainstream, waiting for curious minds to uncover them. So, my friend, whether you approach the Book of Enoch as a scholar, a seeker, or simply someone who loves a good story, there's no denying its allure. It's a window into a world where the boundaries between heaven and earth blur, where ordinary mortals encounter extraordinary beings, and where the fate of humanity hangs precariously in the balance. If you decide to read it, and I highly recommend you do, be prepared to have your imagination ignited and your perspective challenged. Who knows? You might just find yourself walking a little closer with God, just like Enoch did. Wouldn't that be something?